Hey yo, what's going on guys? And we are back for issue 15. And this one does not miss. And this picks up with the Decepticons at Tacoma, Washington. And we have the Decepticons causing havoc, but with a reason, as we see Thundercracker bring up how this is wrong with what they are doing. But we see Soundwave say he does not enjoy it, but they have no choice, as they once again are on their back foot. And that failure after failure, loss after loss, they have no choice. And Thundercracker brings up how Cybertron isn't gone and parts of it fell into the ocean and they should go and find other Decepticons to join them, which Soundwave disagrees and says Earth is a place of treasure, rich with energy and raw materials, unlike Cybertron, and that the Autobots have one major weakness, which is they care for the humans on this planet and will always protect the weak. And Soundwave tells Thundercracker to get this unpleasant work over with, and we see Thundercracker not happy with what he does and tells these group of people to hurry and run as we see him blow up the building, which is just crazy, man, because we are just getting closer and closer to that whole hopefully defecting from the Decepticons from Thundercracker, and I'm all here for it. But in the next page here, we have our good buddy old pal Cliffjumper, which yes, he isn't dead, which is amazing, but we see him wake up on Cybertron and mention that explosion that him and Optimus took, he must have got knocked back into Cybertron. And we see him get greeted by Warpath and Bluestreak, which is awesome. I'm glad Warpath survived, and we also see Bluestreak, which is awesome, and we also get to see Blur. And this reunion is a little short-lived because they are being hunted, and let me just say that Bluestreak does confirm that Cup and the others in Alita's group are dead. So Warpath was the only remaining survivor, which sucks because Cup was really cool in the one page we saw him in, and for Huffer, well, you guys know how I feel at this point about him. Anyways, in the next page, we shift to the Autobots on Earth, and we have a goodbye here with RC as she blames herself for the way things ended back in issue 11 and 12, with her letting rage and vengeance get to her, which led to Shockwave taking Cliffjumper and all that jazz that happened in issue 12. But we see her say goodbye to Optimus, and we have a really nice wholesome moment of Optimus telling her that he is proud of her no matter what. And we see on the next page that RC isn't alone, as Beachcomber, Spike, and Carly will be joining RC on her departure. And to people wondering what they are going to go do, they're basically going to go track down Ultra Magnus and bring him back to the Ark and all that, because I believe for the description for issue 17, it says a group of Autobots are going to track down Magnus, so it's cool that my city commander will eventually be making a return. Also, this just lets existing characters take a back seat, while this volume introduces new characters. But we see Beachcomber and Optimus exchange their goodbyes as Wheeljack tells Optimus that they are getting radio chatter, as on the next page they are on their way. And we finally get some more info on what's been happening with Optimus, as Wheeljack tells Optimus he did some scans on his neural net and couldn't find anything that could be contributing to the visions he has mentioned and we have seen in the story so far. And Optimus brings up how it could be the Matrix doing all this, which Wheeljack says he doesn't know how the Matrix is causing all this because it has nothing powering it due to Optimus using all of it after he repaired himself and after Sparky sacrificed himself, which Optimus says he did and nothing is powering it, which leaves Wheeljack asking if an organic has ever interfaced with it before, which leaves Optimus saying no, he doesn't believe so, which has Wheeljack theorizing that was Sparky messing with the Matrix is also messing with Optimus's neural net, which is why we see him have those strange visions. So basically what this all means is this is all coming from the Matrix and Sparky's sacrifice. So basically my Megatron theory is dead, which sucks. I was really hoping it was the Megatron theory, but it's fine. I'll take my L on that one. But in the next page, we see the Autobots arrive at the damaged area that the Decepticons made back in the first page of this issue, and we see Optimus and Jazz and Wheeljack go and help the humans out, which we see humans throwing rocks and shooting at Optimus, as in the humans' eyes, they can't tell the difference between the Autobots or the Decepticons, at least not yet, and we see Optimus confused, asking why are they attacking them, which we see Optimus tank a huge shot in the back from a tank, and we see Optimus start to snap again, asking why are they doing this, and that they are trying to help, which leaves Optimus completely in his, I guess you can dub this as his berserker rage, as he charges ahead at the tank that shot him, yelling, is hurting things all you're able to do, which we see this metal looking page of Optimus destroying the tank, but thankfully Jazz is able to pull our commander back into reality, and Wheeljack brings up how more human military is inbound, which Optimus tells them to roll out and back away, which we see from miles away, the Decepticons were spying on them, knowing the Autobots would go and help out, which we see Scrapper tell Soundwave that they should go and attack the Autobots. But Soundwave tells Scrapper no, as right now they only need to wait and watch, as with the numbers being so few, and that they plan to ambush and strike the Autobots at their heart, which we see Soundwave tell Laserbeak that yet again, They must wait for Ravage's repairs, and tells Laserbeak to go and do what he wanted to do once they awoke on this planet, and do not return until the task is complete. Which we cut back to Cybertron, and we see Blue Streak's group stop as they see Ramjet, and we see Blue Streak pull out this awesome looking knife that reminds me a lot of like the Baver swords we saw in those movies. But he just completely takes out Ramjet from the behind, and in complete silence, some Assassin's Creed type stuff here. It's really freaking dope. And we have Cliff looking sympathetic for the shanked Conehead, and we see Cliff tell Blue Streak that he's changed, which Blue Streak says things got messy after he left, and asks Cliff, since when did you get all mushy over a Decepticon? Which Blue Streak says, let me guess, Optimus. Which Cliff Jumper replies that he has taught him a different way, which we see Elita 1 say, and when was the last time he truly had to survive? So yes, our questions are finally being answered after the conclusion of Volume 2, which was, is Elita and Cliff, are they alive, are they dead, and do the Autobots hate Optimus Prime, you know, the group of Autobots on Cybertron? And yes, they are alive, and honestly, it's looking that way, that the Autobots on Cybertron do not like Optimus Prime. And I think that's just because of like Elita 1's influence, as with her just being in charge of the Autobots on Cybertron and her already voicing her opinion on how she feels about Optimus, it kind of makes sense for the Autobots on Cybertron to not really take a liking to him. But I don't think all the Autobots hate Optimus. I think, you know, just probably Elita's group. I think the other Autobots out there, you know, they don't hate our commander. So it really is, though, looking like Autobots versus Autobots and Decepticons versus Decepticons in this volume, which is nuts, man. It's insane. But we cut back to the Autobots as they are now at the dam for repairs, and Wheeljack asks Optimus what happened back there, which Optimus replies with not really knowing how to answer the question, except that he felt like an old version of himself when he was full of anger and vengeance, and that something's not right with him, which Wheeljack replies with that he'll do some more scans once they get back to the Ark, and with RC and Beachcomber being gone, out looking for Magnus, it's time to bring in some reinforcements, which we see the machine starts to start up, and we see Trailbreaker start to come back, and we see Optimus greet Trailbreaker, you know, saying welcome back, just only for a huge ambush attack from Astrotrain, completely blowing up the machine, and probably, yeah, Trailbreaker's probably dead. Rest in peace, Trailbreaker. But we see the Autobots just completely get blitzed as Astrotrain completely blows up the machine they were using for repairs, which leaves the Autobots scrambling, opening fire, and we see Starscream leading his brigade, saying, finally we meet again. And with Optimus being confused, we see Soundwave and his Decepticons arrive on the scene. And Soundwave says, we have hunted the Autobots, but instead found a troublesome insect, which we see Starscream replies with, you will pay for your treachery, Soundwave. And Starscream tells the Combaticons to merge into Bruticus. And with Bruticus facing down Soundwave, that's how this issue ends, fellas. I absolutely cannot wait for issue 16 because, yeah, it's a Decepticon Civil War. And then honestly, we might get an Autobot Civil War now, as the Autobots on Cybertron, maybe all of them, I don't think all of them, but you know, all of Elita's group, they don't like Optimus, man. They don't like that he took a group of Autobots, went to Earth, left them behind on Cybertron, because I've said this before, Springer and Void Rivals basically confirmed that there was never a real fighting chance with the Autobots in the war. And I don't know if he's saying that like after Optimus Prime left, because we still don't really know what the timeline is for Void Rivals. I like to think that Void Rivals takes a little bit before where we are currently at, but I could be wrong on that, because I know in Void Rivals now they have like people from, you know, Cobra and stuff going, so I don't know how that works. But yeah, the Autobots never had a real fighting chance, and the fact that Optimus took a group of Autobots to leave Cybertron, it kind of makes sense why the Autobots would kind of not like Optimus, for him leaving them behind, and Elita has no choice but to lead that group of Autobots. So yeah, we are getting a full-blown Transformers, you know, Civil War. It's crazy, bro. Cybertronians against Cybertronians, Autobots versus Autobots, Decepticons versus Decepticons. I absolutely cannot wait to see how issue 16 does when we get that, because I think Soundwave's plan for Laserbeak is to go find Megatron. And if that's true, we got some peak stuff coming our way. And it makes sense why Soundwave would have Laserbeak do that, because Soundwave was never really a fan of Starscream's leadership. Like, he made that clear at the beginning of Volume 2. He was not a fan at all. So it makes sense why one of the first things he would want to do is to go look and find Megatron. So I don't know if that theory is true or not. but it would be really cool if we get Megatron in this volume, and hopefully they don't save him for next volume. Maybe they'll like introduce him at the end of this volume. We'll have to see, but yes, a full-on Civil War is coming, and I cannot wait. And I do want to mention that Corona's art in this issue is like the peak. Like this was his best art yet, which just leaves me wanting more. But yeah, issue 16 will drop on the 8th of January, so that'll be a cool little early birthday present for me. But make sure you guys leave a like on this video and let me know you guys' thoughts. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.